कनाडा एक बहुत सुंदर कंट्री है और जिसमें सभी वेलकम है, इंक्लूसिव हैं। आज एक ऐसी पर्सनालिटी जो आपको इंटरेस्टिंग होगी, स्टेफनी शास्टक, जो ट्रांसजेंडर है और इसके साथ साथ एक जिम्मेदार लीडर भी हैं, पॉलिटिशियन भी हैं। 28 इयर्स जो है पीसी में रही और अल्बर्टा पार्टी ज्वाइन कर चुकी हैं। आने वाले समय में अल्बर्टा पार्टी की कैंडिडेट भी हो सकती हैं एडमिंटन सेंटर में। एक ऐसी दिलचस्प पर्सनैलिटी और अगेन कहना चाहूँगा ट्रांसजेंडर जो अपना मुकाम हासिल कर रही हैं पॉलिटिकली, आज हमारे साथ हैं। आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर हर एक्सपीरियंसेस विद यू। Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Stephanie, you are such an interesting personality and I'm so overwhelmed that you are with us today on the show. So you are transgender and do you feel any discrimination or do you feel insecure while having day-to-day life?
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, I feel very, very safe and secure here in Edmonton.
Mm-hmm. And you are part of LGBTQ network and group.
I'm part of the LGBTQ2S plus community in Edmonton, as well as in the province. I serve as a board member and director with the Trans Equality Society of Alberta, which has a vision and mission to be a voice and witness for all matters pertaining to trans Albertans. So we've done a lot of work with the transgender community, working with both the previous and provincial governments here in Alberta to make positive, proactive changes to benefit transgender Albertans. We've worked with the government to make changes to the Vital Statistics Act, to motor vehicles and provincial ID cards, as well as working with the current and provincial, or previous and current government to make changes to the Alberta Human Rights Act to make an amendment to include both gender identity and gender expression as protected grounds under the Human Rights Act.
I also see, you see there was Pride Parade as well.
Yes.
So what for this Pride Parade?
The Pride Parade was a parade that happens annually in Edmonton. It's based on protests that happened back in Stonewall in the 1960s, so 1968. They had the protest where people were being discriminated against and they brought importance to the community. So it became an annual parade to protest against how people are being treated in society. And it was for the LGBTQ community, and over the years it's grown, so it's become more of a celebration more than a protest. But if anyone was attending the parade this year in Edmonton, we did have a little bit of a protest that had occurred as well.
And being transgender, have you been facing so many challenges in your life?
Myself, no, but there are transgender individuals that have faced several types of challenges, whether it be access to healthcare, to education, to even getting accommodations. So it is something that is unique, that a lot of people don't encounter. And in fact, if you are walking in downtown Edmonton, you've probably passed somebody that is transgender and probably don't even know it.
Okay. So many things are happening and you have been into PC for 28 years. So you are backbone of PC. What made you to come out to Alberta Party?
Well, it wasn't not necessarily the backbone of PC Alberta. I was a member since the early 1990s. The party started in the late 1960s under Peter Lougheed, and they were a centric party where they believed that they would be a party that would resonate with the majority of Albertans rather than being polarized at either end of the spectrum. I joined in my youth in the 1990s, and I worked as a youth director for a constituency association, and then I went to another constituency and became secretary, worked my way up to treasurer, president for a couple of terms. Then I ended up becoming a regional director. But we had the leadership race last year. At the end of that, I had to reevaluate to see if I could still fit in with the party and where the leader was going with the party with his beliefs and ideology. I didn't see that that fit was working for me anymore. So I decided to, rather than to react very quickly like a lot of members did, I decided to take a step back and do a pragmatic approach where I would see what was available to me. And I actually sat down with members of various parties, so the other political parties of Alberta except the Wild Rose at the time. And then I sat down with Jason Kennedy, and at that time PC Alberta leader, and asked the same questions to him as I did with all of the other leaders. And at the end of that conversation, I had all that information, and I decided at that point it was best to come over to the Alberta Party. Within 2 days of declaring that I had left PC Alberta and became a member of the Alberta Party, I was asked to be on the provincial organizing committee of the Alberta Party. There were people there within the party that felt my experience with PC Alberta would be valuable to come and help get us ready for the next election. And then I became a constituency president, and then a regional sub-organizer for Northeast Edmonton for 4 constituencies. Of course, I had to give up the role of regional sub-organizer and on the provincial organizing committee when I put my name forward on June 21st as a nomination candidate in Edmonton City.
So do you have great disliking for Jason Kenney?
I don't say I have a disliking, I just say that I don't align with his beliefs and where the majority of his caucus and membership are on various issues. I am fiscally responsible, yet socially progressive. And that party and the way they align right now does not align with my beliefs and the way I believe my entire life. The Alberta Party is that centric alternative to either the current NDP government or the UCP. They are fiscally responsible. They're the only opposition party in the legislature that has put out shadow budget for the last 4 years, and that was under former leader Greg Clark. They show pragmatic ways of dealing with solutions to getting to conclusions, and they believe that the party is an inclusive party, as their tagline is a party for all of us, which I truly believe. So it's not just focusing on individual dynamics or demographics across the province. They want to build a party that is a party for all of us. It doesn't matter what your sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, or where you come from in society or what your cultural background is. This is a party for all of us, and they want to make a difference for Albertans.
Stephanie, do you feel Stephen Mendel is a good leader?
Yes, he's the right leader for the party at this time. We needed somebody with the experience that he has brought to the table as a former cabinet minister in a previous government, and he was having his leadership under what he did here in the city of Edmonton as a mayor is definitely needed for a party where we are right now, where we're still growing and looking to form the next government.
So there would be triangular fight in provincial elections, right? NDP, UCP, and Alberta Party. Why people should choose Alberta Party?
The Alberta Party is an alternative. You've got people with the NDP that are on one side, where people are upset with what the current government is doing. You've got people upset on the other side of what Jason Kenney and the UCP want to do. Is people are looking for an alternative. They're looking for a home, and that home is the Alberta Party.
But Alberta Party is brand new. I would say, of course, they exist since 1985. So, and all these, you see, facts which are coming forward, surveys which are coming forward, Alberta Party is standing nowhere. So how do you feel?
There's definitely a need to get more attention in the public on the Alberta Party, to get our messages out, to show Albertans what we stand for and how it can be a party for everyone.
Okay, and suppose elections are held now, how many seats Alberta Party can get?
Well, that would be interesting, because we're still scrambling to fill our candidates, as are the other parties. So it's really hard to say. We have a lot of really dynamic candidates that would be really great for our party. I really don't know what that number is right now.
Okay, and you know what, this would be a challenge later on as well, because UCP is delaying nominations. There will be people coming out, defections will take place. Will your party welcome those people to Alberta Party fold?
Well, the Alberta Party has welcomed people from different parties in the past, so I don't think that they would not welcome other people as well. They welcome myself from the Alberta Party. They've welcomed people from the former Liberal Party that can't resonate with the current leadership in the Liberal Party. They've welcomed people from the NDP. So it is definitely a party for all of us.
Okay. And most of the political parties, they want ladies representation. Most of them are tracking 50%. And does your party taking any action?
Well, the Alberta Party is working to get at least 50% representation running in the election as female candidates. And that was something that our leader, Stephen Mendel, said he'd like to see.
And if you are elected, do you feel you could be a minister?
If the leader at that point decides that when we form the government, that I'm capable of being a minister, I'd be honored to serve as a minister.
Okay. So now we are talking, and most of our people sitting Canada-wide, and our provincial people as well, they are watching you. What do you expect from South Asian community?
Well, I think the message that we can say is that it doesn't matter, like I said, what your ethnic background is. If you're looking for a political home and you want to be engaged and be part of the change that's going to be happening in Alberta, come join the Alberta Party.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure being here today.